surprised in the slightest about that one.
Well, there's two sites in particular, Whippet, where glass can be used to execute. Armory lockers, we see lots of Monty plants where you get, you know, your glass player on vents, or even when you go for a silhouette on 90 as well, some damage is dealt from down inside of East, and now Monty will turn up the pressure, and Kenny gets the opening kill of this matchup.
That just shows the danger of Monty since that shield rework. The lethality is much more increased than what we've previously seen. Now we do watch a trade-off happen. Creed's lost in that. All three Lion scans brought to the grave. A body left in DBNO. That will be Doom. Unsure if they know about this. Should be a free collection. They'll hear the body drop down the hatch in the tellers. Should be a free collection of that one, and it is. Also gets the credit with that. Early advantage with this one. And, well, Kenny's going to get aggressive. A melee now is also going to clean up the mess from him as they get control of Archives, leaving it a difficult position for the defensive Secret to hold on to. The case should go down here in the hands of Nomad. A scrappy engagement and Fountain, but Noah wins that one out. And Virtue to C4 to try and find a lifeline.
A lot of this defensive presence is still playing on the verticality of this map. You can see those silhouettes. Noah's getting pinched here as Solace will swing, and Solace does get the DBNO cleared up by Groovy, but the case is going down in the middle of sight as Kenny will go for the execute. He's had a big game so far through the opening 2 rounds. Another DBNO as Kenny will get taken down by June, but we are now in a post-plant situation. It takes 7 seconds to defuse the case, which gives these players just about 23 seconds to get these kills, and well, Azur's the one finding them.
3 versus 3 position now. Most bodies wounded in this. Grubby swings wide and finds Azur. ITB reduced to 2 bodies to make this one stick, but Oscar will trade blows. Finding one more will be Creed's. It's all down the Virtue. A veteran of positions like this, but I likely not going to be able to get this one done. The wall blanks don't quite connect. So close on that silhouette and no avenue and no time left. So ITB do find their second round.
Remember, if you look at the overlay on the bottom right, you can see the position of every single player. Nobody's in the building yet, and Savage is going to get a quick double with the SMG-11. Noah and Kreese falls, and now that Monty can become a bit more of a hindrance for ITB than a helpful factor whenever you do lose a couple of players. Fenrir getting some information as well. He'll just get out of dodge, falling back towards site now, leaving ITB with lots through. But Whippet, a minute left, and Kenny is the only player in sight.
Well, very quickly joined by Azur in that position. The second logic bomb goes out. Dokkaepi's primary utility now being expended. Quickly answered by Doom. And you mentioned, though, the fact that Monty does have that shield. Lacks a rifle, perhaps lacking firepower. Certainly is lethal up close and personal, but closing that distance might be a problem. Especially considering the variety of lesion mines scattered around the map in these high traffic areas. And ITB need to find an engagement to go their way. Needed to be untraded. Final Selma charge tossed out as well. Throw is good. Will open up that single wall underneath these stairs. The amount of bodies stacked up in Workshop will make this difficult, and blinded by fear for a split second. More bodies stuck by those lesion mines as Kenny slowed down drastically from it. It's going to be a scrap inside a bathroom. He'll find one. Can't make good in the second as Doom finding 2 of his own. All down to Azur alone. 5 seconds. And he won't his way
in towards break room. Same sort of idea as last time. Get yourself into CCTV security. Try to force an easy first pick. Fenrir, gotta be careful. Noah will find a trade as Savage does fall, but look at this damage being dealt. But Kenny's a little bit trapped. Look at that, a quick double kill. Jim and Groovy getting 1 apiece. It's a 3v2.
A lot of pressure now on the shoulders of Noah. Even more so now. Sacrifice for default camera. That won't last too long, I'd imagine. Tossed out to try and get more information. Azur does find the opening engagement. That will be Savage off the board. Waving goodbye to your Solace. And considering the Solace was the lifeline for Secret the previous time of this site, a massive pick as Oscar will find one more. The Oryx now Adrian off the board. Great start from ITB so far, but can they manage this round? Can they keep things untraded? Dangerous gambit right triple wall, but the silhouette's crossing the night. The air jab is perfect. It erupts, causing a bit of chaos, but June will find one. Noah falls to that C4. ITB need to be careful here. It can swing in favor of Secret, just like that, where it brings it level, but Kenny does find that trade. Advantage back with ITB.
Yeah, took a little bit of damage back the other way, but once more we're seeing ITB getting the majority of their kills from external positions. 2 players inside break room as Groovy will find Creed's back to a 2v2, but look at the HP. Kenny on 20.
Out, they'll drop in, they do read the rotations. Falling out of sight is Secret. They do spot the player behind the desk. This is a must-win encounter and does so. Oscar's huge for it, and they'll pull off that plant. Trying to bait a rotation from Virtue. And this is where the experience is a factor. Virtue has been here so many times, but blinded by that flashbang. Making best use of what limited utility that they have. Virtue needs to win that engagement. Can't quite find enough shots to do so. Walk through square. Has a lot of control here, a lot of pressure abort, and this is going to be what I like to say a dilemma. This is not a problem. There's multiple ways to solve a problem, and well, they do that quickly. Grubby was going to be able to get that credit. No cover to deny that pressure, and break room, perhaps a blind spot of information. I like the vision for ITB. Execution just wasn't there for them, and the early advantage does sit with Team Secret now.
Oh, you just know that Kenny's eyes lit up for the second when he spotted the isolated castle, but thankfully for Castle, some help was able to arrive with Gruby. Finding that kill, Jim gets another 5-3 as we look destined to travel to a 3-3 opening half here on Border. You look at the positioning, one player up on the top floor. That's Oscar as he just creeps his way through office. The hatch is open, which will give him access towards the site. You can hear that he does have those nomads in the distance to give him a little bit of cover, a little bit of a flank watch. But with a minute left to go, Secret cruising in this round.
All Secret need to do is let the map and the timer do everything for them. 2 players up with this moment. ITB a lot to do. 2 Flores drones and just a set of flashbangs on each player. That's all they have to work with. They'll drop in the bathroom. That's going to be Oscar. Doesn't win his one. Virtue gets that one. Creed's there for the trade, but doesn't last too long. Virtue selects his second. Now down to the 4 versus 1. And Creed's an exceptional player. Everyone's seen that raw talent, but against 4 players like Secret, just feels too much of asking. 20 seconds. It will be an agonizing one, as this round should go for Team Secret. He'll be stuck by that Legion mine. And as we begin to think about this, Gibby, it looks likely that we're going to go have a 3-3 half, almost guaranteed at this point.
The ability to bleed away defensive utility and gather information while you're doing it, but look at this. Creeds gets aggressive on that window on top of balcony, and there's the upside down repel. Creed's got the audio key, finds another, but it's back to a 3-3. Noah will find Jim as the defenders take the advantage. It's Adrian with a DBNO Virtue to work alongside, but the player should know that there's a DBNO. There's the C4 and Oscar.
Dangerous gambit to play on these stairs. Lions Gannon goes out. Oscar does get tagged by it. You feel that pressure now, but are they going to look the right way? Yes, they are. And if I was that recruit, I'd back away, but the cover from Noah is good. Adrian does pick up Creed's advantage, though, still sits within the breach.
That's a big pickup by Adrian, but it's still a 3 versus 4 situation. Utility, not too bad of a position. 3 death marks still available for Deimos to use to get information on 3 of those 4 defenders that are still left alive, as Virtue's just very cautious about entering into the building now with the amount of damage his team has taken already. One positive, health points for both these players looking, or all 3 of these players looking pretty good, but as you can see, that silhouette inside of security might just be a problem, as Noah going 4 and 5, a great defensive split few rounds for him so far, looks to keep the pressure on, but whip it and executes.
They're getting the case down. Okay, little bit against the rhythm of things. Adrian just walks in the sight. And ITB found, or we should say, Team Secret find that weakness. Deimos is good for it. Dream's cover finds one, but shut down quickly by Azur. All down now to Adrian alone.
He's behind you.
Oh, he gets it. Adrian finds his second in the round and reduces this position into a 1 versus 1. The Vector, though, up close and personal, not a weapon you want to gamble with. He'll swing a mistake. That opening engagement has often been the defining factor, and it will be Adrian who does find Creed's early. Spin twins strike again. Will be advantage for Team Secret now, leading by 1 player.
Oh, and there's an extra kill. Yep, Virtue manages to find that one. Little bit of damage dealt as there was an attempt at a trade coming through from Noah, but will not be found. 5 versus 3. As you can see, Habana is very low on HP right now, but not really any defensive traps in position that he could fall afoul of. So in reality, it will have to be the barrel of a gun that will take him down. But this is a great start to the round for Team Secret as they look to take advantage. And by getting that great start with it, it buys them time now to get into that secondary drone phase and start working out where the soft points of this defense are.
ITB still not out of this yet. We look at the utility, how available to them. MP5K in the hands of Omai can certainly be a vital tool to get those picks back, but Kenny on the Solus can provide critical information. Kirby makes things a little bit harder now for a comeback on ITB's side. Finding that pick on the Noah. 5 versus 2. Difficult day in the office, it feels. As they're just staring up on those beams. Spots one player crossing over. Has that discipline just to wait. One body drops from that hatch and Azur gets it. Patience is their virtue and Kenny finds one more. This round is very much winnable. But Savage makes it a difficult one and blinded in the off.
Smoke as it clears up the window and it buys Azur a little bit more space to move into, and Oscar gets a nice kill onto Adrian, and that makes things a little bit more difficult now for Secret.
Secret trailing by a player again. They've not made successful or major inroads to this. Azur is wounded though, left with a single point of all 9 points of HP to his name. One bullet.
That's as good as a single point.
It is. I mean, one bullet will be enough to take him out of the fight. Both Talon shields still available in the hands of Osso, played by Joom. A lot of utility those bring, and that's going to be basically a no-go zone for any defenders. You can't cross this. It's so difficult to deal with. They have 1 impact remaining, I believe. No, actually no impacts. They do have 2 nitros to work with, but still can't clear that shield with relative ease. That will be a problem. But Secret need to get 1 traded back. Lion scans might be a useful tool to get that. Just wondering what that thought process will be now, how they can break this round down. Only 1 smoke canister, so they might be able to try and force the case down behind the shields that they're brought up by the Osa.
Yeah, you know, you think about, it looks like that's what the plan could potentially be. More of those toxic Babe canisters being utilized here with no real value being gathered, but they do have the shield down. That fire is going to burn for 30 seconds, and the C4 from Oscar with 1 more still in the pocket of the team will have an impact, but that leaves it all down to Virtue. 8 and 6 as things stand, and well, he's in a 1v4 into the breach doing exactly what was required. It looks like they've won. Forces the drop down the hatch, and you know what, but that isn't bad, because even though you don't get the kill, you've cleared the space.
They have that space, didn't have to commit to a significant gunfight for it either. Noah is off that board, as I mentioned. Yuramai not going to be a factor in this, but that blitz doesn't last too long. Azur finding 2! Great rotation, Creed gets into the action as well. Adrian falls, and Oscar with 1 more. Virtue off the board, Groovy alone. Finds 1, might be a consolation prize. That's Oscar's scalp taken. And the case is cold. Lot of work to do. But a lot of time to find an opening. Never say never in a game like Siege. ITB, they'll play reserve, they'll fall back the site. Really not wasting any time.
Really problematic for Savage.
What they're going to do is, I think they're going to go through sandwich window and use that to clear half wall. That's exactly what they're going to do now. He got the SMG-11 ready for it. He sends it in. He knows the player's there, and the shotgun's good for it. And that gives them an opening to vault on in. But it will be ITB to fire back the trade-off of 2. Oscar and Noah finding those picks to make it a second one now for Noah. Savage forced to drop and play aggressive inside the server. Rotates out of sight. Ruby finds 1 back. Still a player trailing in numbers. Default camera remains and relays that information back to the squad. A vertical player is going to shut this one down. Savage goes to the repeat, but slain by Azur. All now down to Groovy on the Ash. Finding 1. 2 more to go, Gibby. 50 seconds, certainly a doable job.
It's doable. No case. The case is on the top floor, as are one of those defenders. So he's got a decision to make pretty quickly. Do you try to get the case and go for the execute, or do you play for the kills? You can see the Creeds is hyper fixated on the fact that the presence could be below. No cameras means that unless unless he walks through that, you know, metal detector, his position will not be revealed. 20 seconds now. It's becoming a bit of a problem. He's going to drop the hatch. He's making a lot of noise, but I think this is it. They're not going to peek. They're not going to give him the free kill. And just like that, ITB should and will take the first map against Team Secret.
ITB have they played Clubhouse, so again, if I'm Team Secret looking at this and they would have done their research, they would have done their preparation, They've seen the same two bans. They're likely going to expect the same strategy coming into it. And I'm going to be intrigued to see what the rest of the team did towards that multiplayer dirt tunnel. Now this leaves ITB, a player down and a little bit short. You've lost your IQ. Make that even more. Your Zoom picks up Oscar. And you're going to be waving goodbye to Habana. Job like you're already done, but at this point it's just going to be a series of picks going one by one. I think the strategy of ITB was quite disrupted in this round. Noah does collect one. Might just be a consolation prize. That was on the Savage, and it will be a long day in the office, I'd imagine. 50 seconds left to go, 1 versus 4. Ace clutch to save the round. Don't imagine it's going to be on the cards for this one, Gibson. Difficult one from the solve.
It's 40 seconds, and you're going to give one player permission to peek, and that's exactly what Doom's going to do, and he loses his life for it. But when you get to 3 versus 1, it's more so, yeah, let's get the crosses going. So troll time was enabled, troll time was closed. The door was open and closed. Doom was given the opportunity. Now you just kind of wait. One mistake, Noah's going to have to take an engagement. At that point, everybody else should be in a position to play off that first contact.
Doom had a massive effect in this round, of course. That DB&O that happened, I believe.
They're going through the list nicely. You get the player in the bottom garage. You start using utility to try to clear anybody who could be on Rafters, but it's not Rafters you got to worry about. Savage on the swing will find Azure and Doom in the blink of an eye later. Will also take down Kenny. So that's your Sledge gone. That's your Thermite gone. You've still got hard breach of potential with the Ace and the Thatcher. But really good aggression from Team Secret. And oh no! Noah got timing. He was holding the angle. He came off the ADS. And he is going to get picked up by June.
Guarantee it's cleared. Does get pulled away by that Ormai disc and might just choke out the play. They can't use this opportunity now to push in deep, but they know top red's clear. They can send someone up through lounge, but no one's in that position ready for it. And this breach isn't open as Virtue finds Creeds. 35 left to go. Noah gets that trade off. Noah finding 2. Adrian and Groovy off the board. Now the breach will get opened up. ITB have a lifeline. Secret, can they hold on?
And now with that door being closed as well, it does mean it's easier to push in for Kendra. Now Noah will find one. It's a 1 versus 2. The last player inside of Rafters. All you got to do is get that case, which is easier said than done, and try to get the plant off inside. But with only 14 seconds, play for the kill might be the better option. Stun grenades thrown. Virtue finds another. He's playing below. 5 seconds left, but I think that the Thunder from down on.
What's his phone? Dropped on that body. 1 player by pool table. This will be the castle. Takes a little bit of damage and will be fully slain by Azure. ITB quickly out of the traps yet again. Noah compounds that. Finding Doom. 5 versus 2. Secret on the back foot. Still lots of time to work with. But ITB, he can mold the map whatever way they want.
Impact drone sprint through. Grim's on his cameras and Savage says thank you very much. 2v4.
Dealt with the defenders. They might be able to get a lucky C4, a lucky shot to stop that case going down. They're going to attempt to try and make that one stick, but Virtue gets one on the Oscar, and we do see that trade. Savage left in DB&O, and Virtue finds one more. This is still winnable for the defensive side. Virtue, are you kidding me? Kenny alone. The revive happens. Not much he can do now. 2 bodies stacked up. The cover needs to be perfect. They'll swing him 1 by 1. Savage finds it. Virtue, though. Man of the hour. Team Secret find a 3rd.
Well, but Team Secret are winning 3-1. What ITB should be trying to do.
Might be listening.
It's scary, I know, but
I mean, right. well, the big thing I'm going to say here is that those are 2 completely unprotected bandit wires, and they delayed this push around 30 seconds. And you just bring a Thatcher EMP and you're inside much quicker. Azure does get the opening pick of this engagement. Doom is first to fall. For that, you lose your bandit. A flurry of kills happens. The Savage gets a trade off on the Oscar. Actually, no, they both trade each other off. Perfectly timed headshots land that up. An entryway gathered inside. Oscar not too happy about the crowd shaming there.
10 out of 10. Oscar's so happy with that one. 3 versus 4. Stun grenades being tossed over the wall as Virtue continues his rampage in this matchup against ITB. 8th kill for him in just the 4th round. Nades being thrown to try to clear some space, but as you can see, Noah not really getting much out of the back of it. Groovy not too bad. Big flank coming from Adrian now. He creeps, he sprints, he makes some noise, but it doesn't matter. Adrian will catch out Noah. 3 versus 2 as the other 2 attackers are not too far away. Red ping is coming out as well, feeding even more information to this defensive side. Now, Team Secret have won at numbers like this before. They won a round in this scenario where they were numerically challenged, but I think this time they're not going to fall into the same mistake.
There. They know Virtue would have been left in DB. They will find one more. Creed gets that pick. He'll find a second one now, and it looks like it's going to be an absolute rampage. Creed straight in the sight. Doesn't have the case, can't make a stick, but will burn away one of those smoke casters. The mute goes outside and Creed hunts it down. Shut down by Savage in a scrappy, chaotic opening to this round. ITB do come out the victors. 4 versus 3 for them.
2 toxic canisters gone as well, but they were in the middle of sight, but Kendrew was a little too far away to help. But at least with only 1 left, you can try bait that next one out. 1 player on the rappel, 1 player still playing below for the attacking side, and everyone else is just waiting. Holding this. 1 minute and 10 seconds is a long time. You've got drones that you can utilize. They've still got 6 up that they can work with. Will make that 5. But with Rafters control, with the breach open, this should be plantable. Noah gets the kill. It's a 2v4. Surely not again, Whippet.
Surely not, right? It's Doom and Adrian this time around. Are deployed and open up that hatch inside of stock. You're going to have around 15 seconds left to work with. Azure will get to pick on towards Doom, and now ITB, 1 player up. They might be able to make this a difficult round, but Virtue fires off. Timer goes red, and they need to make this one stick. Adrian, all alone, takes a C4 to the skull, but claims 1 life. He finds that pick. Virtue's out for cover, but it's
for Team Secret. Pressure still being put on. Really good throwing of that Kiba barrier will force a little bit more time to be utilized as the stun grenades are now thrown. You've got to make something happen. Ace takes a little bit of damage as he sprints through the smoke, but Oscar finds another one, and look at that cover. Noah, the DBNO, but Kenny will not fall just yet. It's all down to Virtue. 15 seconds left. He is having one hell of a game. He'll stat pad a little bit, but with 10 seconds to go, no case, 11 points of health to work with. That'll be that position. So you're blaming Azure instead of Creed. That's what you're trying to do.
I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm saying what happened as Doom does find a pick on towards Oscar. ITB, it's a bit of a difficult round for them now.
You're not blaming anyone, but you did say one of the players didn't throw the Kiba barrier correctly. Okay, I get it. I see what you're doing with that one.
Well, listen, it's what happened though. I mean, I like the vision behind it to get that patched up behind the Kiba barrier. The angles didn't line up properly.
Yeah. But I think you have to get that control of CCTV at the very least if you want to attack this site correctly, because that means they did get the wall breach reinforced eventually, or that soft wall reinforced, but it just means that if you want the vault in the window, you can. It looks to me like they're going to try to get that case down behind the mattress in sight. There is still 2 C4s in the pockets of these players though. Bandit's got one, Mir's got another. So this round is still not over. Aggressive plays. Kenny gets one. There you go. But look at how much utility he's used as well. He's got 4 Kiba barriers in his pocket.
God.
He's playing to stay in, right? This is either there we go. It's genius. It's genius. He's got his 1. Yep. There's 2. Why not? No, he misses the shoulder entirely.
Oh my God, Oscar, let's go.
Oscar, 7 and 7. We were talking about how he only had 2 kills a little while ago, and you know what? He doesn't even have to leave now. He's still got 4 Kiba bar. Use your utility now. Make it even more annoying for those attackers to clear you.
He might be able to treat all the way in the freezer. He's got so much space to work with, and, well, Deagle out this time around. He'll hear the pressure. He'll finally use one of those Kiba barriers. Extends just a little bit too deep into the line of sight of Doom. They'll take that one. Realistically, a freebie, but damage done. Oscar finding 2 and draining so much time away from the offensive round of Team Secret. Virtue, Doom, the last 2 standing. And they only have 15 seconds to make something work. They have to realistically charge in this site and try and stick this case or play for kills. Crossfires from ITB should be established, and this is going to be Doom on board with him finding one of the Creeds. Are you kidding me with that shot? Virtue, are you kidding me? Falling for that one. 000 dodge. But look at this from Azure. He needs to win the next engagement given towards him, no matter what it is. And it's going to be that Capitao down below on that garage door. That's going to be the case player. And I think it might be a wise choice, 30 seconds remaining, to begin to rotate away. But he's going to stay absolutely perfectly still. The vault in radio window. Azure needs his team to be there. Creed finds that trade. Savage needs to get a little bit more success. The C4 down below from Oscar. Second in the round. 3 versus 2, ITB in control. Charging through the fire, through the flames will be Adrian. Virtue gets Noah, and Adrian's gonna be the lifeline! Adrian's gonna be the savior! Team Secret take the round. Cash. That wall does appear to be electrified, but Virtue's EMP deals with that problem. They're gonna try and catch a rotation around, that's what Groovy does. Noah's off the board, and that's one step closer to Nighthaven Labs for Team Secret.
1 minute and 30 seconds though, they're halfway through the round already. They've opened the breach into Cash now. A little bit of damage dealt though onto Jim as he steps against that electrified wall, but gets himself outside the building, get back on the drone. You've still got those mirror windows to deal with. The one that's going to be the biggest problem is most likely the one that's inside logistics looking towards master bedroom. That's the one you need to deal with. That's why you need to get a little bit of pressure on logistics itself. Creed's playing that position. You look at the feed. 2 C4s to work with as well. All of the Team Secret players with it are still flowing across the map. It screams a master bedroom execute.
40 seconds to make a stick though, if that is going to be the primary intention, and I think you've nailed this absolutely perfectly. A case going down behind the engine, the cover seems to be good. Groovy in a great position for it. Logic bombs rain out, a set of hives sent down, a great shot towards that player in bathroom. Doom, Groovy fire off, Ozzy gets a kill with the barbed wire. And it is going to be a death tome of ITB, but Gibby, that means it all goes down to map number 3, Nighthaven Labs.
We wanted it, the people spoke, we all wanted Nighthaven between these two sides.
To win a couple extra engagements, but brand new map, big mental reset. They had around 10 minutes to speak with Kangaroo Kenny, their coach, begin to figure out how they want to go around things as Monty, Maverick, Kaye, 2. There could be calls go out. First of those logic bombs has been used. Creed's on that roll this time around and does find that trade. Very quickly though, Savage will take Azure off the board, meaning we're back to advantage for Team Secret on this defense. And the Solus might get compromised here. Flashbangs go out and that will give away the intention of this push. And Stuck blinded on Fish Staircase will peek out, fully blinded from that. And Kenny, a better start for Clubhouse. Oh, doubling his performance for Clubhouse just like that. And that's what we need him to be able to do. Finding picks in that mid round, and now ITB 3 versus 2 in favor of them on the offensive side. This is a great start for them here on Nighthaven Labs.
Now, I do maths professionally, and double nothing is still nothing. He's infinitely improved his performance over the last map.
Listen, Gibby, I would not trust you with my accounts, even though you're an accountant.
I wouldn't trust you with your accounts either.
Yes, I pay my fees.
Whip it. It's execute time, 30 seconds to go, 2 versus 3. ITB have the numerical count, but there's that castle strat that we saw in that matchup between Furia and FaZe.
There's
in
no
that
way
SI
out.
final. Yeah, you gotta beat it up. He doesn't have the Gon 6, he's got no ammo to work with, so that player is essentially a non-factor for the next few seconds. You've still got the angle from Kenny. He's gone with the R4C. He's going to peek around the corner. Noah will find his one, but there's only 5 seconds to work with. They've got the case.
A nuisance time and time again. Azure though on a very limited amount of HP, 5 to be precise. He'll even be stuck by a Goon Mine and vaulting it. That Ying does get control of Rafters. Noah gets the opening. Virtue is first to fall in that moment. It's going to be a difficult one now. Clash though can bear down. Well, look at this. Kenny's HP just draining away. The buck down below plays such a critical role to displace these players. Ying might have missed a vital opportunity to get those freebies, having to pull that mine out of their ankle. Oh no.
Remember, with that goo mine as well, you could potentially get a kill onto Azure because Azure is down to 5 HP, but it is, of course, a... Oh, yeah, this should be another round win for ITB. You've got the Clash back on their feet, but it's all down to Savage.
List to perhaps be an aggressive play, open up that barrier in combination with those Yin Candelas, should be able to find a freebie as Doom does get Oscar in that middle of the chaos. He vaults in that window and will be slain. Case is recovered, but guess what? Doom is going to be a merchant down below, finding a second with that C4. Savage will get Noah, and the advantage does sit with the defensive side of Team Secret. This case won't go down, the cover isn't there, and Kenny will try and bide his time best he can. The drone network from his fallen teammates is good enough to detect the players inside of loading bay. The aggressive push from the Azami, trying to find pressure on that blitz. The flash wasn't good enough. He will trade with Savage, leaving it all down the Creed in 1 versus 2. Make it a 1 versus 1, and Creed is first to fall. Again, a tiny game from every member of ITB. Contributions across the board. Azure does fall. Runs into Virtue down below. A difficult fight to take as those phones ring off in the back pocket as Savage begins to put some pressure on the player stuck in the middle by the pillar. And there's too many angles to deal with. Bodies just begin to swarm. Adrian will get that kill credit on towards Oscar. It's just going to be a difficult one as down below is proving to be a graveyard for ITB. But Noah gets one of his own. Creed fires up on the second in this round. Just like that, people out of those key positions, but a silhouette from Team Secret's lurking just around the corner, and Azure just has no information on that, and Savage gets a freebie, but Oscar's very quick on the draw, gets Adrian, and the advantage remains with ITB.
ITB 4 versus 3, they're 3-1 up on their attack already, and they're just looking to continue to dominate here on Nighthaven Labs. Now, there's a bit of a maze that's being created, a whack-a-mole, you might even say, on that wall over by Fish Stairs to try and keep them thinking, but look, there's a ping. He's going to spray through the wall, but he doesn't tag him this time. Ying Candela's go off, a little bit of damage dealt, but he's not going to get the down as the player's still behind the wall, and Kenny will manage to finish him off. June trades one back, 3 versus 2, but ITB's tempo's good, but what a shot from Savage. Bring us back to a 2 versus 2. Oscar will ruin it for him, though. It's down to a 1v2. There's one player left alive. It's all down to Jim, the Valk, with lots of
electrical. Spot the Legion, and it will be Kenny who falls on it. He's going to be stunned from that Legion mine. He will get that blind off, but he commits just too deep, and Adrian's there for that cover.
Yeah, Savage is there as well, gets another one. Creeds will find a counter kill on the Savage, but it's a 4v3 now. A little bit of damage dealt, but we got one DMNO, DBNO. Groovy's down. Adrian's down to 11 HP, and all of a sudden, we've got ITB back in the round. But it's still not over yet. You've still got to get in towards Sight Whippet. You've got a lot of damage dealt, and Frost is still in play. Do any of the ITB players forget themselves and tread one of their feet on those dangerous, dangerous pog mats?
I mean, not just the Frost mats, Gibson. There's going to be those Capcan traps as well. As you get towards these final few moments of a round, it can be scary. Doom does fire off, finding Oscar. Advantage back with Team Secret. They have the yellow pings, are fully aware of that Capcan's position, but the case does go cold. The crossfire from Virtue's absolutely perfect, and Noah falls off the board. Team Secret have fought valiantly to get themselves into this position. Creeds, though, still very good as a technical player. Good chance of trying to save.
5 reached the stat line this time, but he keeps himself inside of that very dangerous position in electrical. He can just keep those defenders honest. There's a swing from Bandit, but Noah and Oscar, well, I just started to speak and they said, Gibson, stop talking. This is our round to lose. Oscar, keep an eye on Fish as they start to take Rafters control now, but it is still a feeling that it's too little, too late. Adrian will fall at the hands of Noah, leaving it all down to Savage. He takes up the same position we saw Virtue fall a few seconds ago to. Will it be the same answer? Trying to bait the peak, trying to pick it, finds a little bit of damage onto the banner. It goes down to 4 HP. But it looks all but a 5-2 lead for ITB.
Yeah, it does at this point. This is just going to be a kind of a game of weaving in and out of this door frame, essentially. So the round is done unless there is something heroic. So we can begin to almost write the eulogy for this, as you said. So Team Secret is very good at dealing with that pressure, likely to use it in a vertical sense in these rounds. Noah gets the opening pick, Virtue's off the board, and this is a difficult one now. Ace is no longer applicable for this side. More damage done, shift away. That Fenrir gadget will blind this blitz. Doom does pick up one of his own as her falls. A difficult descent down the staircase in towards Exo. You have to fall back from this.
Yeah, you've taken the space. Don't get ahead of the attack now, though. You've cleared that player from that position. Do not move any further than the rest of your attack, because if you want to be the spear of an attack, well, you still need the rest of the team right behind you to help. So they've done the right thing so far. 50 seconds. I said that Secret need to slow the tempo down a little bit, and that's exactly what they've managed to do. They're creating verticality. One of the benefits of that Deimos pistol whip is it's pretty good at opening up some lines of sight as well.
Yeah, I mean, you need to bring the shotgun in the primary slot if you really want to make that work happen, but again, the Vendetta, if you have someone marked from verticality, can be a very lethal tool to have. A drop in towards Animus happens now. That's going to be your blitz. That will be Groovy, and that prox alarm is just going to re-ring off as he's backed up by the Ram in this position. They'll try and break their way through this barricade. It's going to be a very noisy affair as they storm on out towards site. Look at that timer, only around 15 seconds left to go. Kenny, Oscar firing away. Kenny, oh no, finding the back ahead of Noah. but it's all down to one player. That will be your blitz. Sensible decision to sit a little bit more reserved, play risk adverse, not make mistakes, and that verticality will find them one. Azure gets the first blow. Savage is slain. Minute 20. Does Secret have a reply?
I don't think so. There's another kill from Noah. 5v3, 5v2, 2 kills in 1 minute and 13 seconds away from the Esports World Cup finals. Information has been gathered, but for Doom and Groovy, this is a mountain. Doom will step up, he will find one, but he's going to get traded back. Oscar gets Groovy. Doom, what can you do? Your Esports World Cup dreams are falling away. He trades with Creeds. Congratulations, ITB, get those flights booked. You're going to Riyadh.
They've earned their key. They've earned their chance to compete at one of the biggest events in the world. Oscar will be the MVP of his team at that ending.